Hello, everyone. Happy Mental Monday. Happy Monday. I'm Cassidy Quinn. If you're new here, Mental Mondays are where we, me, and you, people of the internet, people of the world, real, actual humans like me. Does that sound suspicious? Does that make it sound like I'm actually a robot pretending to be a human? This is where we talk about our brains, our bodies, being more happy, healthy. Last week we talked about listening to your body, whether you're sick, whether you are falling off a cliff snowboarding and you bruised your tailbone. Today I asked you guys, as I always do on Twitter and Facebook, what would you like to talk about on this Mental Monday? And our wonderful friend Scott, who, this is random, but a couple weeks ago it was Valentine's Day. He sent me a very, very cute little Valentine's DIY that his little baby Ellie did when she was actually a baby. Now she's a toddler. So we love Scott. You're wonderful. Thank you for always tuning in. But Scott suggested we talk about the coronavirus, more specifically stress and mass hysteria over the coronavirus. Now I will say, and I will say this a few times throughout this video, in case you're just tuning in now and you tune out, or you're tuning in the middle of this and you missed the beginning, I work for a local news station, KGW-TV in Portland, Oregon. I'll be going there as soon as this live stream is done. And it's a local news station, and they are doing all kinds of coverage surrounding the coronavirus. People can text in questions with the word facts to KGW. Follow them on Twitter and YouTube, KGW News, and all the places if you want all of the facts, all of the news information. You want to hear about new coronavirus tests that are coming up positive for people here in the Pacific Northwest or all around the US and all around the world, things that you should be doing. So we're not going to talk about all the news aspects of it today, because I'll let my news colleagues handle that. But what we're going to talk about is the mental aspect of it, because whenever anything happens, when people, like Scott said, stress and mass hysteria over the coronavirus, whenever something is happening and everyone is worried about it, and everywhere you go, you're reading things, hearing things, seeing things, it's just all consuming, it can be a little bit overwhelming. And whether that's a virus that unfortunately is infecting people all over the world and sadly is killing some people in some parts of the world, or in all parts of the world, it is killing some people, and that is very sad. I'm gonna open up the live stream on my phone so that you guys can actually say things and we can chat. Did you just hear, like, Siri across the room? My iPhone, my work phone, is back there, and she's listening. Siri, stop! This is why I use my Android phone. I love my Android phone. Okay, Thomas says, yippee! Scott says, happy Monday, happy March. Whoa, it's also March. March Madness. Guys, I need your ideas on, we'll get back to the coronavirus in just a minute. But we can, this is, I was listening to, do you guys know who Katie Nolan is? She's a hilarious, very talented TV personality on ESPN. She has a show called Always Late with Katie Nolan. And she has a podcast called Sports, ? And they have a little structure of their podcast that they kind of make fun of while they're on there. They'll be like, this is the friendly banter part of the podcast where we just talk to each other. This is the official show business part of the podcast. So this is, for our Mental Monday podcast, this is the friendly banter part. Then we'll get back to the coronavirus, okay? So on my show at KGW, my show, which does not talk about the coronavirus, it talks about the fun, happy things happening around town, is called Tonight with Cassidy. It'll be on tonight at 7 o'clock on KGW. And I've been trying to think if there's some kind of March Madness thing we could do, like some sort of Portland-y bracket we could do that has nothing to do with basketball. Not the actual March Madness, but like some like things that are making us mad, or things that are making us happy, and just things that are making us so super Portland that then we could kind of compete against each other. Like, for example, the Unipiper and Mosho the cat rapper. Look them both up if you haven't, because they're wonderful. They're friends of our show, and they're best friends of each other, which is so amazing, and you could not make that up if you tried to. But like pitting them not against each other, but like in a bracket, you know, like who wins, Mosho the cat rapper or the Unipiper, and then one of them moves on to the next round, and then eventually two finalists compete against each other. Does that make sense? Do you guys have ideas? I just want some kind of March Madness. That would be fun. Yeah, a Silent Koala just chimed in. I can't believe it's already March. I know. Tucker and I got to go get a massage yesterday. It was my Valentine's Day present to him, a couple weeks late. But it was wonderful, and we had to write the date on this form we filled out, and I wrote February and then realized, nope, it's March, which is crazy. We were just talking about Christmas yesterday, which seems like it was, to me, it kind of feels like it was 6 months ago. Tucker was like, it seems like it was just a month ago. No, it was almost it was over 2 months ago. And it was last year, and that's crazy. Lane says, hey. Jesse says, good morning. Lane says, you should see the new cleaning regimen I have for my car. Ooh, I need to hear about that. Please tweet me a picture, Lane, because I need a cleaning regimen for my car. If you are new here, you might not know that I am trying a new thing in 2020 where I add a new habit into my routine every month and try to focus on that for the month, and then document it on video. So yesterday I posted my video of trying to get 8 hours of sleep for a month. And I got over 8 hours of sleep last night, to my detriment, because I was supposed to get up this morning and do this month's challenge, which I asked you guys on the internet if you had any ideas for this month, and I didn't get a lot of suggestions that would work. And so Tucker gave his own suggestion, which involves him too, which is doing the dishes every day for a month. Like when we eat, just do those dishes. Like there's dishes sitting over here on our coffee table from last night because we fell asleep on the couch as usual, and we didn't do the dishes. There's dishes in the sink that we've been supposed to do for days, and they're just sitting there. And maybe this is me admitting we're disgusting humans. And I shouldn't have said this, but we're live, so I can't take it back now. Tucker, by the way, is homesick again. He's in our bedroom back there. He might make an appearance if he decides to venture out into the kitchen. But he's homesick, and that sucks. Which maybe is because all our dishes are dirty. It made him sick. Just kidding. What was I talking about? Oh, Glenn says, bang, Cindy Quinn, looks good. Thank you. I did get a new haircut, which if you watch my video about sleeping for a month, it's not sleeping for an entire month. That would be a boring video, but also I would love that content for me. I got a new haircut on Wednesday, which is funny doing my sleeping for a month video because I have a new haircut in a lot of that video, but all the clips from that video from the previous month, I don't have my new haircut. So yes, these are my bangs. They're on my face. Normally I do these mental Mondays, like pretty much I woke up like this style, but I have to blow dry my bangs every day. If you guys have never had bangs, you won't understand the struggle of waking up and your bangs are sideways. Or like this morning I washed my hair, and normally I will just like let my hair air dry, but not with bangs. You can't do that. It would look weird. Lane says, doing dishes, listen to some music while doing them, works every time. Yes, music, or if I'm by myself, like if Tucker and I are doing music together or doing dishes together, we'll listen to music. If we're doing it separately, I'll like put on a show, like watch the most recent episode of The Bachelor or Love is Blind or whatever trashy reality TV I've decided on that week. Scott says he likes the idea of having a That's So Portland tournament. Ooh, I don't know why I didn't think, now that you said That's So Portland, I thought back to the segments we haven't done in a while, but they were That Is So Portland, and we could just find things that we featured on That Is So Portland and put them into the bracket. Yes, oh my gosh, thank you, Scott. See, this is productive. This is why we have these Mental Mondays, so we can start our week off on a happy, fun, productive note, and also talk about the coronavirus. So, back to the coronavirus, which if you want to blame anyone in the comments, you can blame Scott. Just kidding, Scott, we love you. Back to the dishes for a second. Scott says that sounds like a good challenge. We've been trying to stay on top of them as a resolution, and it's still a work in progress. So please leave your comments below of how you get those dishes done. We don't have a dishwasher. I should say that. I used to have a dishwasher in my old apartment, and then Tucker and I moved here. When we looked at the place, we did not notice it didn't have a dishwasher. Whoops. But we still love the place. I wish it had a dishwasher. Maybe we'll get one eventually. But currently it's just a struggle because like you eat dinner, you should go do your dishes, but you want to finish the episode that you're watching, and then you want to go to bed, or you fall asleep on the couch, and then you get up in the morning, you want to get 8 hours of sleep, so you don't wake up in time to do dishes before work, and then they just sit there, and it's bad because we should all be keeping clean houses, especially right now with the coronavirus. Should we get back to that topic that I promised we would talk about? Oh, Miroslav says, wash your dishes while tap dancing. Thomas says, does Tucker have the coronavirus? I don't think so. That is a valid question. I shouldn't roll my eyes at you. That's a valid question. However, from what I've heard about the coronavirus, what I've read, and again, as I said, I would mention a few times throughout this live stream, I work for KGW-TV. It's the NBC affiliate in Portland, Oregon, and you can watch them all the time. At noon, they'll have a noon newscast from 12 to 12:30. You can stream it at KGW.com, or there's a coronavirus on the KGW YouTube channel. There's a coronavirus playlist. So if you just search KGW News after you watch this, you can find all kinds of things about the coronavirus. But here's what I've heard about the coronavirus is that Tucker, what he has today, he woke up throwing up. He hasn't quite decided if he feels like he's sick or if it feels like a food poisoning kind of thing or like just a one day kind of thing. But shoot, where did that go? I swear I opened up a tab. Yep. I opened up this KGW article about the coronavirus because currently there's the second presumptive positive case of coronavirus in Oregon, it was a household contact of the first person that officially was tested positive for the coronavirus, someone that I believe household contact. There's all kinds of news words that they use, but I think that means that someone that lived with them got the coronavirus. Therefore, if Tucker had the coronavirus, I would probably end up with coronavirus as well. Unless I do a really good job of washing all of our dishes and keeping our place clean. But from what I've heard is that coronavirus symptoms, let's see, are they on here? So it's if you become sick with a fever or respiratory issues. So it's more that you have a fever and lots of cough and you feel like you have a bad cold with a fever. It's not that you're throwing up. So what I am assuming is that Tucker does not have the coronavirus. But what they're saying here, okay, listen to this. Most cases of coronavirus, or the technical phrase that it is COVID-19, they call it. Most people will have mild symptoms. You might not even have any symptoms, and you might actually have the virus and be a carrier of it, and therefore people that you're in contact with could end up getting it, but you don't even show any symptoms, because it's not that it's this horrible virus that will kill everyone that gets it, right? And I think that if you're actually watching the news, they're saying they're not telling you that everyone that gets it is going to die. They're being, at least the news station that I work at, KGW, is being very reasonable about it and not saying, oh my God, everyone freak out, you're all going to die. They're telling you the actual facts. They have a hashtag going right now, facts not fear, because we want to be fact-based and not fear-based when we were talking about any kind of news, but especially when it's things like this. And so but if you are not watching the news and you're just seeing things that pop up on Facebook or Twitter or wherever, maybe you're just hearing all the horrible, oh my gosh, this many thousands of people have the coronavirus all over the world, this many people have died, this many people are this, oh my gosh, please, you should be afraid, blah, blah, blah. That's not what we want to do here. So again, symptoms, coughing, sneezing, having like a bad cold, and a fever. So, but what they are saying is if you become sick with a fever or respiratory issues, and this is from KGW.com, and you would not normally seek medical care because they're mild. Like normally if you're staying home sick from work, you have a bad cold, or really you'd probably go to work, right? You just have a cold, you're sneezing, maybe you don't know if you have a fever, but you're not throwing up. You're like, I should still go to work. Maybe you shouldn't. Right now, you should probably stay home from work if you are showing any kind of symptoms. Like Tucker, for example, obviously he's throwing up, so he's not going to go to work. And because he's throwing up, he probably does not have coronavirus. However, his boss texted him back and was like, yes, dude, stay home. He probably didn't say dude. Yes, stay home. Hope you feel better. Work from home if you want, if there's things you need to get done. And if you have a fever, stay home a couple of days. And that is a very smart response from a boss, that if you have a fever right now, you should be staying home. And that's usually what they say. That's how I felt when I was a kid. Like if I had a fever, don't go to school, right? And now if I have a fever, don't go to work. That was the weird thing when I was sick throwing up a couple weeks ago, was the second day that I stayed home from work. I wasn't throwing up. I still didn't feel 100%, but I didn't have a fever. So like maybe I should go to work. Nope, I didn't, because I still didn't want to get other people sick and didn't want to not be 100% in my job. So if you feel mild symptoms, Like, you're sick, but you're okay. You probably don't need to go to the hospital, okay? You don't need to freak yourself out and go, oh my God, I need to go to the emergency room right now because I have a cold, right? It could be the coronavirus. It could not be. Can you hear my stomach growling? That's weird for you to hear. But so health officials are encouraging you to stay home and recover. And then 24 hours after a person feels better and no longer needs to take medicine to control their fever, then you can return to the public or work. So in the meantime, stay home. However, they encourage those who are experiencing more severe symptoms to call your healthcare provider to arrange an appointment in order to minimize exposure. Because again, if you are worried you have the coronavirus, you don't want to just show up to the doctor's office and get everyone there in contact with you, right? Miroslav says he is pregnant. Tucker's pregnant. Congratulations. That's why he's throwing up. Definitely. So there's the facts. There's the health-based things around the coronavirus. If you have questions, you can leave them in the comments below, and I can actually screenshot them and take them to work at KGW, and they're doing a lot of things where you can ask questions, and they'll respond in Facebook live streams or YouTube live streams or actually on the newscast. Of course, we want to answer everybody's questions, even though that is not my part of my job. But I want to talk about, now that we got the facts part, the medical stuff about the coronavirus out of the way, the more mental part of it. I read a quote. I wish I knew who it's by, but I don't want to sit here and just be Googling while I'm talking to you guys live on the internet. But I read a quote a few years ago that has stuck with me about, I'm going to paraphrase it, but it's basically, if you're worrying about something before it happens or might happen, you're making yourself worry twice, which is not good. If you're worrying, oh my gosh, am I going to get the coronavirus? Oh my gosh, am I going to die from coronavirus? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Before you even get the virus, you're making yourself worry 2 times. You're worrying before it happens, and then you're worrying it when it happens again. Like, if it can apply to all kinds of things in your life, right? If you're worried you're gonna get fired from your job, as long as you're doing, don't do things that you think would get you fired from your job, right? But if you're worried you're gonna get fired from your job because your boss just like doesn't like you for some stupid reason, but before you get fired, like, worry when you get fired, figure it out, or plan for when you think that's gonna happen, but don't stress about, oh my gosh, is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen? And then you have to stress out about it again when it happens. Does that make sense? So the same thing goes with coronavirus, right? Like, do everything you can to prepare yourself and to do what officials are saying, what the CDC is saying that we should all be doing, including wash your hands a lot, okay? They're saying wash your hands for 20 seconds at least with warm water. It's kind of like we're going back to the basics. We're going back to when we were all little kids and we had to learn how to wash our hands and learn that you should do it while singing happy birthday and like, happy birthday to you, and not rush through it and actually spend the 20 seconds washing your hands, which, here's a mental Monday tip for you. Enjoy those moments washing your hands. Like, that's if you're at work or you're at school and you have to go to the bathroom, going to the bathroom is not very fun, right? But washing your hands, also not very fun, but it's 20 seconds where you can just tune out, and it's 20 seconds before you have to go back to your desk or your classroom or your office, whatever, and work again. So you might as well enjoy those 20 seconds of peace and singing happy birthday, or maybe instead of picking happy birthday, which is copyright free, so I can sing it here on the live stream and still keep the ads on this video. But maybe pick a different, like a chorus of your favorite song, and that can be what you wash your hands to, right? And so, like, I love Maggie Rogers' song, Love You for a Long Time, right? So maybe I'll listen to 20 seconds of that song, and then I can play it in my head and remember what 20 seconds sound like. So now I'm gonna wash my hands singing the chorus of Love You for a Long Time of Maggie Rogers, and I'm gonna enjoy that. Or, okay, here's a fun one. The intro to my TV show, Tonight with Cassidy, which again airs at 7 o'clock, Monday through Friday on KGW. You can live stream it or watch all the segments on YouTube with the hashtag Tonight with Cassidy a few hours after they air. Just later at night by like 9 o'clock, they're usually up on YouTube. The intro to our show, which if you watched it, I'm gonna do a really bad job of singing it to you, but it's like anyway, it's like me running around Portland, like jumping off a bench and like running in place, doing these like weird boomerang things. Wow, that was bad. I could hear it in my head, but if you've never heard it, you're probably like, what the bleep, Cassidy? But that is 17 seconds. So 17 is probably good. Let's say like start washing your hands for like a second and a half, then start singing that song in your head, and then finish it, and then like have another second once it's over, and then turn the water off. There's 20 seconds for you. Boom, I just figured it for you. And figured it out for you. And that was weird. As soon as I said 20 seconds, I looked at the clock on here and it said 20 minutes and 0 seconds of this live stream. So that must be a sign, right? A silent koala says, it horrifies me when I see people in public restrooms simply leave the bathroom and don't wash their hands after doing their business. Yeah, that's disgusting. That is disgusting. Don't be that person. Please wash your hands every time you go to the bathroom. But now, I mean, it's flu season, right? Even if the coronavirus wasn't a thing, it's flu season. It's winter time, and even any time of year. If you're